Like a pack of wolves, we herded them together to make them easier to pick off. Now it's time to move in for the kill.
Officer in pursuit of suspect vehicle. Assistance has been requested.
Nothing we're doing is touching the suspect. We need air support to keep track of him, over. Air 14, all units. 4 overhead, NFS on suspect. Control Ranger shoot aggressive force. Requesting support from units nearby. This race is over, dispatch.
In today's episode, Zephyr and his crew are going to jail. Alright, come here, bitch. Oh, you are a feisty one, aren't you? Why not have another? You look thirsty. Nope. Bye-bye, Ferrari. Let's move on. Hang on. Is that a P1? Wait, no. It's a Ferrari Enzo. What, are you a person of culture or something? Oh, that did it. Lock it in, lock it in. Alright, give me that bust. Come on, just what are we dealing with here? Damn it all, can't even get a bead on this fool. Hell, no wonder they're driving an Aventador. But it's no match for the Sesto Elemento. Oh, you are not getting away. Yeah, you're mine. Well, you got some massive freaking cojones on you. Guess it's down to this then. You were good, but I was better.
Target racer pulled over and detained.
That was some fast work out there, officer.
We got what we came here for. Nothing else matters in the end.
Our techs have decrypted Zephyr's radio signal. Stand by while they patch us in.
Tonight, I call on all racers to band together to protect our way of life from our true enemies.
We triangulated his signal to a couple miles from your position before his comms went dark. You're the only asset we have with a shot at getting in there in time. Your assignment's simple. Get to Zephyr. End it. End it now.
Zephyr has questioned our authority, and now it's time to answer. Today, he will learn what happens when you wake the beast.
I'm coming for you, Zephyr.
Suspect vehicle sending information through
Yeah, how does that taste? You want more?
All units, racers are deliberately smashing public property, updating MDC.
10-4 course wave, that hit your
This is it. This is the end.
An officer from the FBI's vehicle response team remains in critical condition after a collision with the outlaw racer, Zephyr. While authorities will not release the name of the injured officer, our sources tell us the officer has already been terminated from the force for his reckless actions.
You are asleep. I am awake. I am unshackled. Free. I am the life I was too scared to live.
Just when it seems the racing epidemic is over, a new video has surfaced of the racer known as Fate, who has taken Zephyr's spot as the top racer in Redview County. In it, he issues a challenge to all racers.
I will make you faster. I will give you purpose. I will make you famous. I am your adversary. I am your opponent. I am your rival.
Now, this may be your run-of-the-mill roll credits, but the truth of the matter is, what we saw was not really the whole story, now was it? There is something to be said about cop modes in racing games, namely they tend to be an afterthought. I mean, the cop mode in the Crew 1 was so bad that very few people ever played it, and even fewer people enjoyed it. But with the Need for Speed titles of Hot Pursuit and Rivals specifically, Criterion and Ghost absolutely needed to make this as equal to the racer or main game side as possible. And while I absolutely love what they did and I sing this game's praises any chance I get on my channel, just what in the hell was that ending? There are two problems with it that I want to talk about here. The first is that 0 Hour was incredibly short. I outright destroyed Zephyr in 1 minute flat, in an event that must be completed in less than 3 minutes in order to count. Compare that to the racer side, which ends with Grand Tour, a literal 28-mile hot pursuit that I covered when I first ran this game in September 2023. And what's truly infuriating about 0 Hour is it was intentionally short for the sake of narrative over gameplay. The trope is actually akin to, of all things, the hero and dark stories from Sonic Adventure 2. See, in SA2, if you beat the dark story, Eggman activates Colony Arc, and that event is what triggers the Cannon's Core finale. But if you beat the hero story, then Eggman doesn't activate the Colony Arc, and the Cannon's Core finale technically never happens. And that's the vibe here. You take out Zephyr before he invokes Grand Tour. There is no big 28-mile pursuit at the end because, well, you're just too good at your job. Which leads us to the second problem. It is claimed that you end up in the hospital in critical condition prior to being terminated from the VRT and the RCPD. But where the frick is Zephyr? Here's what I think happened, and there's no real confirming this. Even TV Tropes is speculative in that you nearly killed Zephyr at the end of the cop story. Since his body is not discussed in the media reports, I believe that the FBI swooped in, took his body, and doctored the records to make it seem like he was you. This way, they could sanction him without sanctioning you as well. Because the thing about VRT is that VRT is already full of ex-street racers and crooked cops. It is not necessarily that they would let you go if you broke protocol or double-crossed them. They straight up would not let you live. End of story. If you're in the VRT, you're in it for life. That is literally the point that the game was trying to make. It is straight up militant, the dark side of the Department of Justice, where the MO is to make everything look like an accident. If you can't put someone away, then you put them in the ground. So the fact that they quote-unquote relieved you of duty means they straight up handed you the keys to your own Ferrari Enzo and said, we'll give you a 15-minute head start. If they really wanted you dead, they would have swooped in and done it during that collision you had with Zephyr. but they need you alive at the end of the story because you're their new X Factor. Becoming Fate means you are the next anonymous propagandist encouraging civilians to commit reckless endangerment while also pushing unsuspecting police officers to test the very limits of their uniforms so that the VRT always has a steady supply of crooked cops they can recruit into their ranks. And it turns the game into this racer industrial complex. We'll see that more when we actually do the racer side story, and that was the reason I decided to do it second and the cop side first. But I'm not gonna lie, it is still rather disappointing. They could have and should have let you run a pursuit similar to Grand Tour, and instead of busting 5 racers like in any typical hard difficulty pursuit, have you bust 8, 10, or even 12 racers, with Zephyr being the final one. It would have been a better finale. Though I guess it's all relative because both the cop and racer stories are meant to be incredibly short anyway. Each story can be completed in about 3 hours the first time, and you do each story 3 times to unlock everything in the game, which is supposed to be your first 18 to 20 hours of the game before you head online, which sadly you can no longer do, or into PvE because oh my frick, did Criterion and Ghost actually have some forward thinking with this game's longevity. Eat your heart out, the crew one. But I digress. You'll notice my cop rank in the upper right is 41, meaning full disclosure, I beat the story once on patrol before swapping to undercover. I also mentioned that briefly in the first episode, if memory serves. And the plan going forward is that I will eventually do Enforcer, but will likely skip all the story cutscenes because, well, you've already seen them. But that will have to wait a little bit because we do need to do the Racer side story next. Now, the Racer story is divided into Race, Pursuit, and Drive. And because Drive is the lamest of the 3, I chose to do that as my pre-record set, and will be doing Pursuit as my initial record set. And again, as we go along, everything is going to make more sense. So this is not the end, not by a long shot. This, too, is a to be continued. Thank you so much for watching, and tune in next time for the continuation of Need for Speed Rivals.